Welcome back, my friends, and happy Friday. Happy Scrapmaster Weekly. It is so great to see all of you out there. Oh, I am amped up. I've got my coffee. I've got everything ready. I've hung the Scrapmaster's quilt today in the reverse order, just so we can see the other blocks. I always put those down at the bottom. I thought it'd be fun to put those at the top. And I guess I am caffeinated. Sorry, folks. My name is Rob Appell from Stitchin Heaven out in Quitman, Texas, and I'm a quilt maker on caffeine and life and the passion of making projects and how good it feels to be working with my hands. And so if you're brand new to the show, welcome. Super blessed. We just crossed over the 80,000 subscribers. I'll be wearing that silver play button as a belt buckle real soon, folks. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, just go ahead and do so. I know you're going to love the show. Hit the like, hit the comment, all those different stuffs, and it's super fun. Now, if you're watching it on the premiere, of course, we want you to be participating in the comments while we're going through both during the sewing and the announcements portion. We've got a great show for you today, and I'm really ramped up. This is week 27 on Scrap Masters, which is a weekly random scrap block generator. Started kind of with our color wheel and dice and a photograph, morphed it kind of into the Friday live show, and now it's, golly, what I probably look most forward to It's what I look forward to all week. I'm really pumped to be here and weird. Excited. At any rate, so I get so easily distracted. I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. Sewing for me helps me clear my mind, but it's also my career. And so sometimes it helps overwhelm my mind. So I need stuff to just sew on, which had no purpose. I think so many of us are looking for control in our lives. I know I certainly am a control freak. And I wanted to make an amazing quilt. And I think I mentioned last week, I could not have designed this pattern if I tried. It's 6 random blocks. They're all in grayscale. If you've never done this before, please download the pattern right now from the description below. And we've got our different blocks. And let me just go ahead and get started and I'll walk you all through it. It's all free. It's all for fun. The only rule, there are no rules. So we're just going to go ahead and see what we come up with this week. This is really great. Iron is hot. I'm hot. I got my favorite tools. Pieces are cut down to 3-inch square, so it helps me sew faster. I'm using my slotted trimmer for my half square triangles. I've got, what is this, a 6x12 ruler, but I really love my Quilter Select tools. And other than that, it's super simple. I'll roll and spin for all of us. And I'm starting to use the other color wheel as well. Here we go. We're going to pick our pattern, and this is it. They've been jumping off the table. I mean, these are some big Texas style die they've been going. So here we go. What pattern for week 27, Scrapmasters? Oh, we got pattern number 6. What does that look like? Somehow I just disorganized them. Oh, pattern number 6. Terrific. Not a ton of half square triangles, but enough to keep us occupied for a little while. Blessings to that. Okay, now let's figure out which color is our color of the week. Make sure that is nice and safe, of course. Here we go. What color for week 27? Come on, let it be a good one. And it's red. Okay, so we're doing block 6 in red. And now, here we go. How many different fabrics do we get to use? And as a sideline, if you didn't see last week, my stash had been taken over, commandeered, hijacked, if you will, by several of the Scrapmasters that attended a live event I was at, and it was so much fun. But anyways, my friend Carl Sass, the crazy cat man Carl, left behind some of his fantastic Tula pink houndstooth cat fabric. So anyways, my goal is to try to integrate at least one piece of that each week for a bit, just to see what happens. That's not your prerogative. That's mine. Here we go. Let's do this. 12. Oh, fabulous. I don't think we've had a 12 before. This will be great. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to focus quickly on the high and low contrast. I'm going to pick, of my fabrics, 12. I'm going to go through, and of course we know this is one of them already. And because we're focused on the reds, and I have a little bit from my fabric collection myself there. Okay, so we're going to use those are the same. So now we're at 4. I want to jump down here a little bit. I want to see what happens if we bring in, yep, okay. So now we're at 6. When we use our color wheel, I can turn this bad boy so that my number 1 selection is on the color of the week, right? The red. And that really means that any of these should work pretty dang well together. So not a bad choice here I pulled in here. Maybe I would have been wiser, however, to go with that. Oh, I see. Okay. So I'm going to start to also try to work with the actual tool with us to help those of us who are new to quilting learn as we go along here. So, okay, I've got that. Now let's go ahead and maybe that lighter violet, which was the same place my brain was going, just on the other shade, right? Watch how this is going to work now. Okay, I think that's already getting prettier. If you'll, okay. Got it. Okay, now what we're going to do is I want to avoid that Christmas effect so we can get into our yellows over here. Fun. I'm going to throw in the lime. Now we're at 8. I get 4 more. I've got this little piece of turquoise that I always love in there. And I'm going to like that. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, better. Yep, that's us this week. Okay, there it is. So now what I'm going to start to do is break down my block number 6, looking for what I'm going to call my high and low or high medium contrast, right? Okay, so right here, this is a high and a medium contrast. This right here is going to be the highest contrast out here. And I also have myself a couple of pieces built from before. I don't think I'm going to be able to use those as well. So, all right. So I'm going to start building here. Oh, hey, bud. You're back. Yeah. No,
I see how this works.
Okay, every week?
It was so fun.
You know what?
You guys liked it, right?
I thought so. Right, yeah, they liked it.
That's
cool. I'm just going to, you know what I mean? Get out of here and let you take over.
No. You got to finish out right there, right? You got a job to do too.
Okay.
I'll work on the sewing while he gives you the announcements.
That's right, folks. Okay, here we go. Let's get these announcements going while Rob is working on the sewing. And as he was saying, I love that. So as he was saying, at any rate, thank you so much to the 80,000 subscribers out there. This is super exciting. And, of course, we love the fact that our sewing community is growing here. You saw a few weeks ago where we had folks that had met online, gathered together in person. And, of course, we do all kinds of fantastic retreats at Stitchin Heaven out in Quitman, Texas. We do the Socations where we take folks to hotels all around the U.S., which is awesome. Of course, our cruises are amazing. And I have a whole list of announcements over here I'm going to go through. But yeah, while I'm talking about the cruises, let's not forget we have the 3 new opportunities to sail upon the newest, the Icon ship there. It's the Icon of the Seas from Royal Caribbean, and it's just an incredible cruise ship. And of course, we have fantastic instructors. The last few weeks of January, the first week into February, we have 3 different opportunities. That means 6 different awesome projects, and it's going to be really, really exciting. And anyway, so we encourage all of you to check those out. And thank you again for all of you who trust us with your cruise vacations and your quilt vacations. I think my favorite part about the cruises is, for us, we have access to the classroom 24/7, right? And so, yeah, we have our instruction time, but even like this, like Scrap Masters, we need our free sew time. And that's one of the things we love on cruises. We're really on vacation. So any rate, this is super important. And with Scrap Masters, again, if you didn't catch what Rob was saying earlier, This is a free sew along. We're in week number 27, but there's no beginning, there's no end. The free pattern is available in the description below. We have Boneyard bundles, which are custom curated packs of 20 fabrics. They come in the Tiffany's Tropicals, which are a rainbow. Rob's is the rainbow. Tiffany's Tropicals is the beautiful peaches and teals and turquoises, but they're also batiks, which Tiffany Hayes loves. Super excited about that. With our Scrap Masters, I think what's been most important to all of us is seeing what you're all doing out there. So please continue to post your photographs of your blocks. I'm starting to see now photographs of finished quilts as well. So we're just going to take a moment and look at a couple of these. Congratulations to all of you out there. And again, thank you for participating. Now, these photos are on the Facebook group. This is out, it's called So Well, Rob Appell, and it's on Facebook. Please answer the 3 questions. I will not allow you access to the group if you don't answer the 3 questions. So I know you're a quilter that's going to be awesome in our community. Super great. Now, I need to let you know, next week I will be teaching in Oklahoma City. My gosh, let's just, yeah, well, it's empty, but anyways. So, okay, so next week, next Friday, Scrap Masters will probably be a little different. I won't be sewing with all of you, but I'll make sure you get to see your roll and your post, your color, your spin, all of that. And then I'll show you what I come up with midweek or something like that. But yeah, I'm going to get to be on the road next week, traveling to the quilt guilds out in Oklahoma City. And I'm super excited about it. It's going to be awesome. I love getting together with quilters. And as I was starting to say, also, we have a great space for that in Quitman, Texas. We've got 2 fantastic retreats coming up just around the corner. Now, the first one's, I mean, does it get much better? It's a PJ party, really. We're calling it the Blissful Retreat, but it's a pajama party and pampering where you come and sew with your greatest friends and meet some new friends, and we'll take great care of you and have a little pampering in your PJs. Now, that is September 11th through 14th in Quitman, Texas. And then right around the corner, because you know how we love to horse around and play games, is the Bingos and Bobbins retreat. That is October 9 and 12 through 12th, October 9th through 12th in Quitman, Texas. Now, speaking of Bobbins, let me introduce you to my friend here, Mr. Bobbin. Maybe we're just going to call this guy Bobbin. Bobbin Chicken. Now, if you were not aware, there is a game a lot of us quilters play where we are going to sew as long as we can and see if we don't run out of thread in the bobbin case.
Oh, this will be fun. Let's start the sewing with a little round of Bobbin Chicken. That's right. We'll see who wins.
Currently, right now, Rob is playing a little game of Bobbin Chicken, and we'll find out before the end of today whether he is a winner or a big Bobbin Chicken loser. So anyways, I thought that was kind of fun. Thank you, Marcia and Donnie out there at Wooden Spool in Odessa, Texas, for the addition to the set. I love all my great characters and toys here. Having a blast with Mr. Bobbin Chicken. And of course, like I said, we love to play games and have a blast horsing around. Not always horsing around, however, great tutorials featured here on Stitchin Heaven's YouTube on Wednesdays. Been featuring a lot of block of the months. You know, we do a ton of block of the months at Stitchin Heaven. You can look at our website, stitchinheaven.com. And in our block of the months, we literally do about 70-ish a year, which means every month we start a new program, not a new program, roughly 6 to 8 new programs from all different designers of all different styles. We've got batiks like we did from Tony Steer at Wing and a Prayer. We'll do the Lori Holt projects. We've got wonderful Quiltworks projects. We've got all kinds of amazing block of the months, and they usually range from about 8 to 13 months, backing included, and it's really fantastic. So there's offerings out there for all of you, and I'm enjoying having, again, like the Scrap Master, something to know. It's a little bit of a sewing that I can count on where I don't have to come up with the project. It's just being delivered to me out in my mailbox, and I look forward to it, and then I open it up and I sew on it. And so at any rate, right now, been sewing on Dog Park, and that'll be next week's tutorial. Now, Dog Park is an awesome raw edge applique. It's a really cool quilt featuring a bunch of different dog blocks, and it's designed by McKenna Ryan. And actually, McKenna Ryan is one of the first quilt designers that got me interested in making quilts and then designing my own pattern. So it's a real blessing to work on one of McKinnon's projects. We also have, for you dog lover, if you're not a dog lover, we have a cat one. It's something like Wind in the Whiskers or Whiskers in the Wind, something like that. But another really great one using McKinnon's fabrics too. This is really, really cool. So anyways, this little block is next week. Now, even if you're not doing the dog park block of the month, you can learn something in each of my tutorials, I hope. That's actually one of my goals when I sit down to write out the content, is not only teaching to the project the what, but the how we do things, because I just love knowing that I'm helping you all get through your quilting and whatnot. I know we talk a lot about Kevin, but finally, look, folks, the physical pattern. They've been shipped out. Stitchin Heaven is receiving them and now shipping them out to all of you. So yes, absolutely. The Kevin patterns are available. The kits are available as pre-order. Those should ship out somewhere around September, late September, something like that. Really excited. Thank you again for all of the support on Kevin. And yes, I got the newest idea for the newest worlds. We're going to call it the anthology, where we use all of the 27 fabrics together. And of course, I've got an applique vision that came to me yesterday, a sketch, and I'm getting a little further into what I'm doing. Oh, speaking of sketching, again, I'm finding that, well, we'll just talk about that in a second. It's actually part of the Grateful List. And as I dive into the Grateful List, let's just go ahead and start that now, because the other thing we're super, super excited that we've just posted online, it's the New Year's Day Sew Along. Now, I am grateful for the New Year's Day Mystery Quilt Along for so many reasons. The number one reason is the relationship and friendship I've made with Tiffany Hayes. I think we are a fantastic teaching duo, if I may say so myself. I'm a bit more carefree. She's very passionate about precision, but we really support each other and we love to teach quilting together. So if you haven't seen one of the Mystery Quilt Alongs, it's a live sew along on New Year's Day. It is free to all of you, but we just put the link up this week, and I've got it available in the description below, where you can pre-order your new t-shirt. So we do a different t-shirt every year, as well as your awesome kits. And yes, this year, folks, we are both featuring our new fabric. So I'll have some of my newest worlds, including the big all over print, and Tiffany will be having some of her beautiful new batiks from Island out there. So anyways, these are going to be beautiful kits. You can get a taste of the colorways online. You can pre-order your kit. You can get your t-shirt pre-ordered. And of course, you can sign up to, and we'll be getting you more and more information. I have not built the link for where the show will be and all that stuff. We do that a little closer to the event. So all we really need from you right now, if you want to participate, is your email. And again, links in the description right below. Super exciting. So yeah, number one on the Grateful List, New Year's Day Sew Along. The community that this has built, starting with Tiffany and I becoming really great design partner friends and expanding out to all of you that are participating. Again, it was great to have so many New Year's Day mystery quilters at the retreat we were just all together at in August. Awesome. Number two on the Grateful List, I already mentioned it, but it's just that the Kevin is flying out the doors. Folks, I believe we've almost gone through 150 patterns in a week. This is amazing, this kind of outpouring, and it's super exciting. And of course, that makes me feel like I should be doing more of these kinds of things. So I will. It's that easy, super simple. Speaking of more of the things I love, just found out today, I was up early in a meeting, but I get to attend the International Quilt Festival in Houston, Texas this year. That's right, Stitchin Heaven has a booth. We are going to be there. We're going to be showing off our incredible block of the month offerings. We're going to be talking all about our cruise packages, our retreat packages. We're going to have a bunch of our custom products for all of you, and some fun photo opportunities. So please make sure that if you're considering coming to the Houston International Quilt Festival, you save some time for us at Stitchin Heaven. So yeah, actually number 3 on the Grateful List. I haven't been back to Houston for the shows since prior to COVID, and I'm really blessed to be invited back. Excited about that. And I guess it's kind of cool because my 4th on the Grateful List this week, as I've been traveling a lot, was on the road a bunch, home for a small spell, and then on the road again. Yeah, I heard it. And to the family, we are thinking of you, Mr. Nelson. Anyways, hey, Routines. Number 4 on my grateful list. I have found that as wild and as crazy as I am, taking the time to settle into my little routines is certainly important. So I've been sharing with you all my mini masterpieces book.
Yeah, I'm not really into skulls. I'm sure most of you aren't either. But the funny part is I was drawing the roast from the Mexican restaurant, and you can see that actually the bandana is based on the fact that I couldn't get the head right, so I had to keep putting lines. Still not right, but it's better than it was to begin with. So perseverance counts.
I haven't done much doodling this week. I've just been coloring in something I started last week, but also did start to doodle, which I won't show you yet, the applique I'm referring to for my next project. Sitting on the chair in the morning, drinking my cup of coffee. Oh, that's right, it's empty. Drinking my cup of coffee that I love so much with my little Chihuahua Winston, who you all met last week, on my lap, and reading my Bible and just watching the sunrise and getting off to a great start. I've gotten back into a little bit more of my physical fitness routine, getting back into my yoga and my stretching and my weights a little bit because, again, I just am realizing the importance of health and fitness. So, folks, I know we love our quilting, and it is a great routine to have both for our mental health and our creative spaces. However, don't forget to be drinking your water and getting up and moving around. Maybe we need to move our ironing boards a little further away from our sewing machine so we're getting a little bit better workout in our days. Not so sure. But anyway, well, you know what? That's a great segue, as a matter of fact. Speaking of workouts, good old Rob, he's been working on this block for just about long enough. Let's see how he's doing. Thanks again for checking out our announcements and the grateful list. Make sure when you're commenting, you're also posting what you're grateful for. We love to see what all of you are so passionate about out there. Okay, Rob, take it away, buddy. It looks like you've been pretty busy. Yeah, you're all welcome. So one of my approaches to quilt making all along is to be working as quickly as possible in the decision-making process, so I'm not overthinking it. I spend so much time overthinking everything else that this is why this is a free space for me. So I'm just going to, again, keep reading out the way the chart's kind of built to work. And if these now are going to be my reds, let's say, those really dark ones, then I can spin this to blue, or I can reread the pattern a little bit and make this so this becomes a very prevalent red star. I'd like to do that. So now I'm going to swap this out, even though it looks like a light on the pattern in contrast. I'm going to bring in my dark, or my reds, excuse me, and I'm going to have 4 of them, and I'm kind of then focused on the brighter of my red, so I've got a fun little checkerboard. So we're just going to now lay this out in its squares. Therefore, these red stars are going to come in here, and they're going to point out. And I'm going to mix and match. Making, oop. My brain stalled out. Help. Did you hear the smoke? Hear smoke? Sorry. Okay, now we're going to get it back. So the blues are going to form the point in the middle. Maybe. We don't want to use that one next to that one. Okay, wow, felt like a struggle today. That's okay. Now, I originally had planned, though, for my red squares that I had cut. So those ones end up in the middle. So that's cool now. So what I want, again, is to offer some more contrast staying within that blue concept. So I'd cut down some threes into my 2.5s. So now we're going to build those around here. Okay, so now we've done this portion. Easy. I have some of my other half square triangles that are going to face in, and we're going to make those, again, be the blue-green parts that kind of face in, the bright parts. Do those on opposites to kind of keep our eye bouncing around. And now I can just play as I go around the block. And I think what I'll do is do some of the lighter on this side and maybe some of the darker blues on that side. So it looks like I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's call it 6 of these darker ones. Cool. Okay, so now that everything's laid out, just take a little, it's gone. Anyways, take a break here, and I'm going to sew these together, and it's going to be really easy. I'm just going to go square to square to square across, build the rows, put the rows together, and have yet another block. Let me show you what that looks like. And I'm going to wander off for a second, get myself some fresh coffee. I was afraid of that. As mentioned before, I was playing a wild game of Bob and Chicken, and I just lost 1 square before the rows started. So I really wasn't even close. Keep an extra bobbin on hand, ready to rock and roll just for this reason. But as mentioned earlier, we were playing the game, and it's always fun, win or lose. All right, let's do this. I'm going to sew those rows together now. Can't even find the coffee I went to go get. I was so excited about seeing how I would do these squares. Quite a day. Now, one of the tricks I have been doing is ironing the squares or the rows so that the square seams are facing in different directions. That helps the squares nest together nice. So even though we're doing scrappy sewing, it's not impossible that our points could line up nicely, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just start to flop over those rows now. Seams going in opposite directions. I put on my 1/4-inch seam allowance guide. That always helps. For me, that's just a savior, whether it's a magnetic guide. I love these bolt-on ones on my straight stitch. Well, of course, you know I love my straight stitcher machines. These things are amazing. We do now have the Janome line of sewing machines also at Stitchin Heaven, which I love. They make a great straight stitcher or two as well as this handy Quilter 510. Press after you sew the rows together. Okay, and here we go, just like that. Block turned out awesome. It's going to match in nicely with the other blocks I've been creating the last few weeks, so pretty cool, that split looking block like that. And don't forget, folks, keeping your palette kind of organized either in tone and value and whatnot makes it real easy for you to just grab those scraps and go. So what we've been learning over the last several weeks is not all scraps play well together if you want something that's got some harmonious quilts. And those of you who have been posting those photos, thank you so very much for putting those up. Your quilts are turning out fantastic. Your blocks are incredible. I so appreciate you as a community sewing along with me each and every week. Please don't forget, next week I will be on the road teaching a workshop in Oklahoma. Oklahoma. And so I will do some sort of posting because I always travel with my Scrap Master supplies to share it wherever I go. I won't probably be able to sew along with you all. So I'll make sure that you all have a fresh spin and roll next week for week 28. But this week, week 27, we were doing block number 6 in red, 12 fabrics. You're all crushing it. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, all those wonderful things, and continue to be out there blessing those with your quilting talents. Thanks for being here, folks. So we see you next time. Stay well.